In this episode,
I bought it, we loaded it up onto a trailer, and the fun began. She didn't leave me the key.
this one is a little bit bent. This guy failed completely.
Hello and welcome. If you follow the channel, you know that I recently discovered motorcycles. I had never had a bike before in my life, other than the kind you pedal, and due to gas prices and whatnot, I decided to go ahead and venture into the world of motorcycles. And I like it. I like it a lot. As a matter of fact, this is my 2015 Honda CTX 700. It's a beautiful parallel twin. It's a nice looking bike, 70 miles to the gallon. I got my Corbin seat, and I love this thing. But it doesn't have that same burble and, sound and feel as a nice big V-twin. Now, all my riding is city, so I couldn't go with a Harley. Plus, they're expensive. You're paying a tax for the name. So I wanted something with a bit more character. Now, what I actually wanted was very difficult to find, but then something caught my eye. The Yamaha V Star 1300. The 1100 was a shaft drive. They had issues. I didn't want a 650 or something like that, or a 900. This is a 1300cc V-twin, absolutely beautiful looking. And it was the cheapest one in the country, so I had to have it. So one morning, my father and I went out to go look at a car for my siblings, and after we looked at it, traffic in the Ann Arbor area where the car was available was starting to get heavy because of the Michigan game. And the bike was in Kalamazoo, which is west of where we were, and I would have had to have brought my father back east. So I told him, let's go together. And boy, what a day we had. We went, we looked at the bike, I bought it, we loaded it up onto a trailer, and the fun began. Yeah, we loaded up the bike, and then one of the straps, here, let me zoom out. This strap here, we noticed the bike was moving a little bit, like 4 blocks away, and we noticed when I came to tighten it that it had snapped. So we got new straps, and then I noticed something. She didn't leave me the key.
So to give you an idea, this is one of the ratchet straps. Yeah, they're not the best. I thought they would do the job. This one is a little bit bent, but this guy failed completely. So I had to run back 4 blocks to the U-Haul location, and I bought some proper ones like that. Yeah, word to the wise, sometimes things get the best of us and we think that what we have is good enough, but no. So I went and I picked up some more of these and strapped it down. They didn't have but one of the rubber coated ones, and then these slipped twice, so I had to come up with a different way of how to strap them down. Definitely prefer the ones that have some grip on them. But yeah, good old Harbor Freight. I was finally able to get a hold of the lady. She apologized. She met us where we were at the time, gave me the key, and then we continued on our way home.
So it's the next day. Yesterday didn't go as planned. We wound up getting stuck and not getting back until around 10. We had one catastrophic strap failure, another one where it came loose. So, and then the whole thing with the key, she wound up putting the key in her pocket after she drove it onto the trailer for me. So it was real adventurous. But let me show you. I got so tired of the straps moving around that I devised a way. So what I wound up doing is if you can see up there, I initially had them just from this one and that one to the handlebars, and on a turn with a good bump, they slipped out because they're not coated, so they didn't grip well.
they were out of the ones that are rubber coated. Whether that was the reason, I don't know. This is the first time I do this, towing a motorcycle, so I figured if I put it at a 90-degree angle and I take some of the load off the actual hook, it'll be more stable. So I ran it from there up through here, around, down through there, and then ratcheted back there and put the ratchet up against the trailer. It worked pretty good. I mean, as you can see, when I move the bike, I move the trailer, so pretty safe. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unhook it and roll it down. Just took it out for a quick spin. Definitely heavier than this guy here, noticeably, but not to the point where it's difficult to control. The tires have about 600 miles on them. It's got the quick detach windshield. It's got your saddlebags. Pretty roomy in there too. So one thing I learned, a decent sized saddlebag makes a bike far more practical. And then it's also got the Freedom exhaust, and I like the fact that they went with the black exhaust because I don't have time to polish chrome, so it's that perfect balance. You got a little bit on the valve covers, a little bit there, a little bit there, you know, but it's not overly chromed out. I'm really digging it. And it's loud. Well, definitely louder than the other one, so I'm not gonna give you guys a sound clip right now. I'm gonna have to go somewhere where my neighbors won't be pissed off. It's a Sunday morning, and as you can see, it's quiet around town. One of the features that really attracted me to this bike over a lot of other bikes is the speedometer location. On most bikes, you have the speedometer right here, even on some of the other V Star line. And with glare and everything, and you have to take your eyes off. This is actually when you're sitting in the chair, when you're sitting in the seat, in the saddle. So you're sitting here, and this is where my head is. It's just a very low glance right there, and I can see it. It's not something that's too far down all the way here. It does not have a fuel gauge. It has a fuel light when you hit, I think, 0.6 of a gallon or 0.8 of a gallon, and then a new trip starts, so you know you got 20 or 30 miles or whatever till you run out of gas. It does have your select button is right here, so you have your speedometer or your odometer, the time, trip 1, or that's trip 2 first, and then trip 1. Oh, I'm going down, that's why. And then you have your reset button here, your kill switch. It's a really well thought out bike. One of the funniest things is that when I bought this bike, I was actually looking for a Yamaha Royal Star with the V4. But even older ones with more miles are a little bit more expensive because they're higher up and they're a little bit more exclusive. And they sound amazing. That V4 sounds almost like a Ferrari V8. They're just really cool bikes. They're carbureted, 4 individual carburetors, whatever, but I still like them. But I found this, and it was the cheapest one in the country for sale, so I bought it. And the next day, someone responded to me finally, after weeks, that his Royal Star was available. So I went ahead and I sold the V Star. Yeah, I know. That's how it is with me. I could keep them all, but I don't have space really for them all because these bikes are pretty decent sized. I just gave it a wipe down. I mean, you can see the tires are still like new. They have the little nubs on them. Dual disc brakes in the front. You can see my reflection. I just gave it a little wipe down. It's a nice bike. Got your Freedom Performance exhaust, which I like the fact that it's all blacked out. Your battery tender, again, is right there. Locking saddlebags, passenger pegs.
driver floorboards. Got a little bit of flex in them so you don't get caught on anything. And there's your beautiful 1300cc V-twin. It's got the fins on it, and I like how they're black on the inside and polished on the edges. But it is a liquid cooled bike, and there's your fan in there. I really like it, and it was a really solid deal. It looks good with the windshield off too, but since it's getting a little nippy, I keep it on to keep some wind off of me. But yeah, the guy's coming now to pick it up, and hopefully I'll go get that Royal Star. If that doesn't work out for any reason, we'll see. I don't know what else I might get. Maybe nothing, maybe something, maybe a Goldwing, although those suckers are heavy. That was another thing that really attracted me to the Royal, or the V Star, is that as much as it looks like a big decent sized bike, it only weighs like 660 pounds, 600. It's under 700 pounds wet, where Goldwing is going to be closer to 900. Harley's baggers are like 900,000 pounds close to. So even though it is a 1300 and it's a bigger bike, it's not as heavy as some bikes, so it does have some good pickup. I'm going to go take it for a spin. One last ride, I guess. Minutes later, the gentleman showed up, paid for the bike, and rode it home. So now, it's on to the next one. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.